Hi, I'm Tony Fuentes,
I'm Doc Walling.
And I'm Johnny Lebrot.
and this is the Science of Drinking Zoom edition.
Not
Wake up,
the
Johnny.
TV show on PBS.
Your what?
You remember they turned us down at PBS. We said, have we got a show for you? And they said, you lost us at Iguanas in Your Pants. And they threw us out with prejudice, they said. I can't even get Mr. Rogers on my TV anymore because of you.
He's no longer a friend in
not
your
on the air.
neighborhood.
They were showing reruns.
See, Channel 8, well, PBS used to have some kids shows. One of them was called Zoom. You know, like the Electric Company in Sesame Street?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Where Morgan Freeman was on Electric Company.
6 people got that reference. So
What, Morgan Freeman?
No, the electric company.
Oh, okay. Look it up, kid.
Hey,
no, I got it.
And we just eliminated half our audience.
That's all right. That's all right.
So
My audience has been a cat for the last 6 months.
well, sometimes you have to play Carnegie Hall, and sometimes Carnegie Hall plays you. I think.
This half air is just wreaking havoc on my hair. Need a haircut too.
I don't.
It's gonna let me out.
Right, meow?
You lock the door
Right, meow.
outside.
So on that note, Johnny, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, during this lockdown situation where going outside, I didn't care for other people to begin with. So staying inside has been great for me. And my old friend, the Woodford Reserve. And at this point in our, after the several months that we've been together, I think they're actually going to send me a note. It's like, you're actually putting a dent in the reserve. So can you slow it down? Could you switch up? Could you maybe give a call to Johnny Walker or somebody else, give us a break? But the answer is no, I will not. I've also got Woodford and double oaked Woodford.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You're not the only one who's been helping Woodford.
that's dirty.
The double oaked is how many oak barrels we got, Frank? We got 8 oak barrels. Put it in another barrel. See what the hell it is. We'll slap $5 on it. It's worth it though. I'm cradling it like a child. So that's how I've been. Thank you. Hello.
So I
Doc?
wonder if they increased the aging time, like they did like a regular aging and put it in another barrel and did another regular time, or just dumped extra wood into the barrel. Who knows?
There are chunks in this. What are you drinking, Doc?
Well, I get this stupid plastic thing off of here. John Shaw.
John Shaw's
Whiskey.
hot single malt whiskey, mesquite smoked.
See, now we can have the conversation about the WHISKY versus EY. Because Woodford is an EY and you've got a KY. See what I did there?
Whiskey Nation. It's a YouTube channel. Explained it, but I don't remember what it was.
There's an extra letter. There we are.
Yeah, it's like that on purpose. There's a reason for it. I think
Tony, you're just on Woodford too, or you got something else over there?
I do have stuff downstairs, but it requires a bit of ceremony. I got an actual bottle of absinthe, but that involves drinking this and then going downstairs, trying not to fall on my face, then getting the sugar cubes, the spoon, and then the bottle, bring it upstairs, light it on fire, and try to drink it without blowing up my house. So no, I have the Woodford.
Okay, good. Yeah, solid choice.
Mine was made in Arizona.
Mine, what the hell's Woodford made out of?
Flagstaff.
Kentucky.
It's they get in a fight with the Jack Daniels place. It's like, oh, it is Kentucky. I thought it was Tennessee. Versailles, Kentucky.
And I'm
Not Versace?
also drinking that.
Land shark.
It's just a dolphin, man.
So yeah, booze du jour. It's been a while since we've actually all kind of sat down and had a drink with each other.
That's true. Yeah, good qualifier there.
With each Let's talk about things that scare the hell out of us.
Should try to create some kind of drinking game.
Yeah.
You know,
Every time Johnny drinks sadly, we drink. Well, there he is.
I should have got two. So for those of you at home, follow along.
Oh God.
Me, I mean with the drinking.
So originally, right before Phoenix Comic Con this year, Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Listen, man, get it right.
An adventure in alliteration.
This year, for Phoenix Fan Fusion, we originally were going to have 3 panels. Our usual urban legends and other spooky things, which would have been for the 5th year. For the folks that come out to that, we love you. We appreciate you. You fill out a 500-seat room and listen to our inane and stupid and spooky stories. I
think my stories aren't stupid.
You're not the one with the damn electronic haunted laptop that tried to kill us last year.
No, I just got a message that somebody in the audience was looking for me and had given me the black spot.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was that. So yes, our Urban Legends panel, unfortunately, we'll have to wait till next year. The 2 other panels we were going to try, one was Entertainment Obscura. Basically, we were going to talk about panels that are based on podcasts, television shows, pretty much all the weird, obscure, occult-based kind of stuff. Basically providing a resource for people who are interested in that sort of things to try something new, try something different. But for our 3rd panel, it was a game that Johnny originally started or played in or something. Would you rather?
Yeah, would you rather?
And it was Would You Rather, the Weird Edition, or the Horror, something.
Horror, spoopy. You actually wrote a really good description of it that was going to go into the catalog.
Yeah. I don't have that anymore. It's somewhere. It's in the archives. But the 3 of us decided to challenge one another at trying to figure out some would you rathers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a point total. And
goof, 2 of mine aren't scary.
We're doing it. We're entertaining children, or at least ourselves. So let's see now. Tony, Doc, Johnny. All right. So I will pose the question, and we're basically just going to kind of come to a consensus because we don't have an audience. So I'm going to shoot first.
Okay.
And I will go with Johnny and, Johnny and Doc. So Johnny first. Would you rather go drinking with Jack Torrance at the Overlook Hotel a la Shining, or take Carrie White to the prom a la Carrie?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say I think going back to my own prom experience, which ended up in a very expensive hotel room, but that's where it stops being interesting, where I slept on the floor. I'd like the opportunity to recapture the prom experience and make it into something positive for that young lady. I mean, they didn't really have enough pig's blood in that bucket to cover both of us, so I feel like I'd go with Carrie. Now, the darker side of me was like, yeah, there's no truer experience than drinking at a haunted bar with a murderer. But I feel like Carrie deserves a break, so I'd pick that one.
Okay. Doc?
I haven't had enough whiskey yet. Can you repeat the question?
Would you rather go drinking with Jack Torrance, a la The Shining, at the Overlook Hotel, or take Carrie White from Carrie to the prom?
Take Carrie to the prom.
Carrie to the prom. All right. So I'm gonna.
You thought the dark, twisted alcoholics would pick Jack Torrance, didn't you? But we showed you.
Actually, which Carrie?
The
The
Sybil
original
Shepherd.
Carrie or
Sybil Shepherd?
Zoe?
Sissy Spacek, you mean?
Sissy Spacek. Why did I
Yeah,
think Sybil Shepherd? I don't have no idea.
I would watch a Sybil Shepherd version.
So yes, one
Actually,
one point each to Doc and Johnny for both agreeing for the same thing.
either way, go with Carrie.
Johnny, you take the next one.
All right, so I'll start with really what's my most classic one, which is: would you rather? Now, this is take into account the duration here. Would you rather spend one night at Camp Crystal Lake, which legends say a strange hockey-faced murderer may stalk? One night at Camp Crystal Lake, or 1 hour trapped in the Antarctic research station with McCready and crew from The Thing. So 1 hour. Do you think you could live 1 hour in the research station, or spend a whole night at Camp Crystal Lake? Which one would you rather do?
That's tough.
You want to go first, Doc?
Well, being that I'm a virgin, I would be safe in the campground because he doesn't kill virgins.
Did somebody bilk you out of money and say they could make you a virgin again? Did somebody put Jell-O on your no-no spots?
Yes.
So you're gonna say?
No, actually, I'm gonna go with The Thing because I think I'd have a better chance of getting through that than from Jason.
Okay.
1 night or 1 hour, right?
Right.
See, I have to go to The Thing because that's my favorite horror movie. I love that movie because it's perfect. It is, you don't know who to trust. So in this case, since we both agree, like, we're both getting a point. So Doc
Well,
is in the
I
lead.
thought about that one for. I was originally just going to put them side by side, but then I realized, a Jason movie usually takes place over the course of a couple of days, and then
Exactly.
McCready it's like, could I survive that for an hour in that locked room horror nightmare? And I thought it was about equivalent. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys both picked The Thing. That's interesting.
Doc?
Doc, did you do any, or should we just move on?
I did my homework. All right. Now, originally, this one was 3. Do we want to go with that, or just
whatever the original author's intent was?
Yeah. Fire away.
Right. So, would you rather A, go on a Goonie adventure, B, walk along the railroad tracks like in Stand By Me, and the third one, get shrunk for 48 hours by your father? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I'm going to go with the Goonie adventure because at least I have a chance of getting jewels and money and wealth and fame and the television.
Could you elaborate on the Stand By Me option? Because it seems like I could do that now. Walk down a railroad track. Have the same adventure, you mean? A coming-of-age adventure?
Yeah, basically. I mean, what I originally came up with was Goonies and Honey and I Shrunk the Kids, but then I was thinking, well, Stand By Me could, like, really happen. And I mean, Goonies kind of could really happen, too.
Well, without the giant octopus that was cut out.
Yeah.
But, I think then, presented with those 3, the sci-fi in me is going to go with the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. To get myself a pet ant, to experience the world at microscopic size. I think as much as in any sort of reimagining of the Goonies, I end up as Sloth. So I want to go. I want to go. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
So, since
Like 100
Johnny's answer was different from mine, Doc, who is the winner? Goonies or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Well, Goonies is my most favorite movie ever, so.
I'm taking away the point.
Don't tell the Phoenix Ghostbusters.
So had we actually run this as a game, it would have been more of a debate situation where you'd been like, well, clearly, yes, we can all have a Goonies adventure, but at the end of the day, those kids have to go back to school. They have to, they probably have any number of diseases from flopping around in the water. They've consorted with criminals. They're going to have to go to trial. I would say Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's all within the family. Nobody needs to know that any of that happened. And those kids aren't going to be traumatized in the same way.
You're in the woods. I'll start it that way. Would you rather play hide and go seek with the Slender Man or Jason Voorhees? All right. So this question may anger Doc. So I need you to calm yourself down. Have a drink.
So, flashing lights may anger Doc. So, I mean, it's a low threshold.
All right. Would you rather come back from the dead as a Romero zombie or a 28 day later zombie?
They're not zombies.
This one is more conceptual. Doesn't have it came from my reimagining of my rewatching rather of American Werewolf in London. But would you rather walk a mile across a moonless, pitch black Scottish moor or through a cemetery at midnight?
All right. Would you rather live in Neverland from Peter Pan,
Okay, not Michael Jackson. Got it.
right, or live in Narnia?
All right. Can you clarify your pronunciation on the second option?
The lion and the
Yes.
cocaine movie.
Okay, what I heard was Nardia, which would be some sort of testicular wonderland. And that's not even an option. I have no idea going to the ball kingdom. Narnia?
Narnia. Second N instead of a D?
Yeah.
It's Narnia, not Narnia.
What kind of name is Narnia?
Narnia is Narnia with a D is Nards. Wolfman's got Nards. Why would I live? Why would I go there?
Because it's the biggest city south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Well, only if your captain is obsessive. I always imagine there's a dozen other ships out there living a wonderful scurvy-free lifestyle because they're not obsessed with some child in green tights.
We've seen
Captain
the map.
Hook.
There's only one ship.
Yeah, but who made the map, Anthony?
Peter
made the
Pan
map?
did.
Who made the map?
Peter Pan.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to know. Peter Pan's killing those kids. He's killing them off. When they get they're lost boys, and then when they get too old, they start saying things like tax exemption. He's like, hey, meet me over behind the big willow tree.
So I'm going to turn the clock back. Turning the clock back to one of our first panels as the three of us. You're in your car. It's at night. There's mist in the air. It's cold. You see someone waving you down. Would you rather open your car door for a black-eyed child or La Llorona? Proceed.
This one is more about getting your comeuppance and then running away. So in this scenario, I'm going to give you two individuals from the horror genre. The scenario is you get one sucker punch on these individuals, and then you got to get away however you can. So would you rather sucker punch Michael Myers or Leatherface?
Okay. Would you rather go on a date with Beatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter or Hel from Thor?
Oh, come on. It's not even a question.
Kate Blanchett or Helena Bonham Carter?
Oh, well, yeah, when you think about it that way.
I apologize now, Johnny.
I'm sorry.
My final question.
It's going to be a clown question, isn't it? It's a damn clown question. I thought we could go through this without clown questions. Drink, because I'm sad. I'm sad, Doc. You have to drink.
Which birthday party would you rather attend? The one with Timothy Curry's It
Oh, Jim
or
Curry.
Alex Skarsgård's It?
Oh, God.
That was the first one, right? No, that was
Tim Curry was the 90s
That
one.
was the second one, yeah.
We're shoehorning in my one of my other nerdy loves, which is beekeeping. So, would you rather have to run through the Jeepers Creepers field where he's strung up and he's hungry for new organs, covered in honey? Would you rather have to streak through that field covered in honey, or would you rather have to streak through a creepy New Orleans mansion at midnight, naked and covered with honey, after somebody says Candyman several times? I'm going to give it to Doc because of precisely what he said. If I'm going to encounter a horror beast, I want to go out as a victim. I don't want to live as the old man on a porch somewhere that the new teenagers roll into town and it's like, be careful of the scarecrow field. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in on that. I want out.
Would you rather fight dialects or fight Cybermen?
All right, Tony, we're going to need a subtitle right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with the correct way to say dialects?
I didn't say that. I said we needed subtitles. What are you talking about?
You're making fun of me because I don't say dialects right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So for the tiebreaker, I had a sixth one, but I didn't. Would you rather be famous for outsmarting Jigsaw, a la the Saw movies, or Hannibal Lecter? Who would you want to be famous for? Who would you outsmart?
May I ask a clarifying question?
I?
In this scenario, are both of them dead when I've defeated them? Or are they still alive?
They're alive. You outsmarted them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's an important point.
This was Doc's idea. Doc, tell us about the Mustang Library and where it is.
Somewhere in Scottsdale. I forgot the address.
90th Street and Shea.
But there was a local news report that it was haunted. So we want to go check that out.
Well,
People hear footsteps and things like that.
what's interesting about this, is this where you wanted me to go on my rant, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hugh ran.
So I grew up, that was my library growing up. I lived in that neighborhood and that's where we went. And it was a big deal when it was first opened. So technically that library is younger than all of us. I went there every summer for different types of, reading camps and things like that. Yes, reading camps. I loved that place. I spent a lot of time every summer in that place. And so the idea to me that it's haunted, because when you guys see it, I think Tony will be able to put up a picture of it at some point during the editing process. the architecture is very modern, and so it lends itself to this very modern feeling. It's like, how could a building so new possibly be haunted? No, who could have died there? So it's a place with great memories for me. So I'm looking forward to going back just as a nostalgia trip. And I think if there are ghosts there, they'll be like, dude, I remember you were just a fat little kid. Now you're a fat dude. You know, so I think they'll be cool with me. I'm looking forward to it.
See, this also brings up the thing that I've hated with those ghost hunter shows. Every single one of these shows goes after a location of people have been dead for 100 plus years. People die every day. People die violently every day. If we get down to the metaphysical mechanics, there should be a lot more haunting locations, and especially haunting locations with individuals who are within a certain age range. I mean, instead of, hearing, like old-timey voices or odd English, why don't we hear like, bro, why are you here? Just,
Bro, Cephas, I miss beef jerky. Did you carbo load before you came here? That's how I died.
Carbs. I mean, that's kind of the stuff you probably hear at like at a, at a gym that was, formerly a shopping center that was formerly an Alpha Beta supermarket. You guys remember those?
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, but it's stuff like that. We always have like stories of old ghosts. We never have new ghosts. I mean, is there a ghosting school that we are going to get to in the afterlife? I mean, is it another 4 years we have to waste away before we get our haunting PhD, our doctorate in poltergeisting?
I found a corollary to this when we started this conversation, which is the only place that this really changes, where there is the concept of a more modern ghost, is actually with kids in like elementary and middle school. Where you'll try, when you go through that phase of trying to test the boundaries of other kids, where they'll make up stories like, it's like, oh, don't drink out of that drinking fountain. Don't you know a kid choked to death drinking out of that drinking fountain? So it's using the ghost as a scare tactic when you're younger and saying it's something that happened more recently is the only thing I could find where it's like, it's a common scare tactic with kids who start down the path of bullying to say a kid died doing X and his ghost will get you if you do Y. But when you approach an adult, yeah, it's the classic image of a ghost is some sort of Victorian lady in white, where why isn't it the guy that, when they went to the opening of Whole Foods? Yeah, the guy in the Ed Hardy shirt that went to the opening of the first Whole Foods, and he's like, babe, we're going to get some spelt. And then, like, the carts smashed into him. It's like every time you're like, I wonder if I should have riced cauliflower instead of rice because I'm trying to. And he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. I like how tight your jeans are. It's like, I feel like there should be a whole generation of like bro ghosts out there bothering poor young women.
Well, if we go off the idea that eventually it all kind of spins around, that's going to probably be like 50 to 70 years from now, they're going to talk about the bro ghosts. It's going to be an entire infection of bro ghosts.
What do you think, Doc? Do you think that it's like spiritually, it's like the idea that it has to have happened a long time ago is what makes it spooky, or is it just people are less likely to make ghost stories now?
Well, I believe the answer to the original question on this subject was explained back in the 80s in the movie Beetlejuice. They have to go into a waiting room and then
put up a thing of Winona next to me right now, please.
To get your book, to learn how to be a ghost, and then it can be a ghost. But it takes you like years to get through that waiting room.
So I sort of touched on it with ghost school. 4 years of ghost school, and then 4 years afterwards for your ghost doctor.
What do they say in the movie? That's a good point. What do they say in the movie? You spend 200 years on Earth or whatever it is. They actually say it to the Maitlands. They say it explicitly. You spend I think it's maybe 70 years on Earth.
Yeah.
You spend 70 years on Earth, more specifically in that house. Interesting.
As we all know, the end of the world was supposed to happen on February 14th, 2019. That's where Doc went to a Holiday Inn, and then a man from space took him to his hotel room and then met him for drinks in the champagne room and revealed all the secrets.
All the secrets.
Well, the first secret being there is no sex in the champagne room.
No. But you can find Nardia there.
Did you? Did you find Narnia?
No, I didn't even look for Nardia.
Nardia found him.
Yeah. One doesn't just walk into Nardia.
Now, our final discussion of the night is all dealing with good intentions. We call this Doc's app review. Doc, tell us about
Take it away,
Randonautica.
Doc.
Start, Anthony. Check your email. I sent you an email with a picture that you requested. Because I
An electronic mail in the style of today's youth.
I don't know how to put that picture up on Zoom. I was hoping you knew how, if you even can.
Oh, I probably can.
So on YouTube, there's some videos that this guy puts out. He collects paranormal or scary videos from all over YouTube, and he'll put like 5 of them up and do a video on those 5. One of the episodes I was watching, they were talking about an app called Randonautica, or Nautica. So Rando is random, Nautica as in
Nautica. No?
basically what it is it randomly creates map coordinates and then puts it into Google Maps. Okay, now what the appeal is you think of an intention. They're doing like a test or a study on quantum computing, or at least quantum mechanics. So you think of an intention, and then you press this randomize button or go or whatever it's listed as, and then it'll figure out the coordinate, and you go to that spot on the map, and that spot or very near that spot will be something that's related to what your intention was.
So what is the format for the intention? How do you actually have to phrase it? Is it just like a single adjective, or do you have to give it a sentence?
No, it could be like one word or a sentence. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah,
the
real
word
quick.
is Jackie Treehorn. No?
I wish I would have thought of
No,
that.
Jackie Treehorn?
Hello, dude. I'm Jackie Trio. White Russian, right?
What was your question again?
How's the filtering process with the
Yeah,
the
how do you put in the intention?
Well, you just think about it.
I'm sorry, you don't type it?
No. Well, okay, it's not the instruction, but you can think of a whole sentence or just a word. So
I thought you had to type it in, so it's just in your noggin.
what the hypothesis is with quantum mechanics is if you think of something, there's that quantum entanglement. You've heard that term before, right?
Yes.
Wow. So it creates a quantum entanglement, and it influences the quantum computer to find a location that has to do with what you were thinking about. So we tried this, me and my roommate, a couple of days ago, and the first thing I thought of was, I want to see something cool that I haven't seen before. And so then I hit the thing, and it brought up the map with the coordinates, and it had me go to Elliott up to 48th Street, and then turn right, which is north on 48th Street, and the dot was like right in the middle of an intersection in the middle of the street.
That sounds safe.
Yeah, So I pull to the side of the road, and I look over to the right, and there's apartments there, but you can see those from Elliott, so I've seen those before. Over to the left was a street that went into a neighborhood, and you can see the houses. I've never seen those houses before, so it kind of worked on that level. But the second house in was a custom house in amongst all the cookie cutter houses. It was actually really cool looking. And that was the picture I sent Anthony. Did you get that?
I'll add it in when I do the editing.
Okay. Because I could just like hold it up like that. But,
yeah.
But it was weird because the house actually was like kind of a blue, but it had brown shingles on it. So it's kind of it was ugly in that way.
Painted with Smurfs and shit.
The shape of the house was really cool, and it was very unique for the neighborhood. So I count that as a win. Then I did another one where I wanted to go to a place that the dogs would like and be safe. So it had me go, drive around, and it had me go across the street from the dog park I normally take the dogs to. It's like, okay, I think that works. My roommate was hungry, so she said she was thinking of go to some place to eat. I had us go up to Elliott. Was it Elliott? Anyway, I think it's either Whole Foods or Sprouts. It's right off the 101. Maybe
I think it's Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods. Well, it had us actually go into the neighborhood behind us where it's all apartments. I'm like, well, technically you could just go up to somebody's door and say, can you feed me? But it was
you can do that once.
But if you go by the rules where it says it's either that spot or near it, it was near that Whole Foods where you can get food to eat. It's already cooked, or order a pizza or something, and there's like 3 or 4 restaurants in that little strip mall. So I figured that worked. Now the first one, actually the very first one was my roommate's, and she just wanted to see something new. And it had us go into this neighborhood, and the dot was at the entrance of an alley. Now, and this was before I knew that you had to kind of maybe look around a little bit, and I thought it was like that spot. The only thing that was there was a big pile of palm fronds, like palm tree leaves stacked up that somebody had cut down, which was a big enough pile to hide a body under. And then on the wall, it had this design on it that looked kind of Aztec. I know that's cool, but looking at it, it was pretty obvious. It was just the remnants of glue that was holding a sign up. Because they had other beware of dog signs. So it's like somebody glued a sign up there and the sign fell off, and it was just the glue that was. So that one didn't quite work, but I think the other ones worked.
Maybe what you really discovered was the strength of your friendship, and the real treasure you found along the way was each other.
It was the experience and not the end of the travel. But
anyway, I came up with a bunch of shit you got to think about when next time you use it.
Yeah. Well,
so,
see, if you think of something, like happy, it'll send you someplace good, like where we went. It's just like in a neighborhood somewhere. But if you think of something dark, like I want to see evil, it's supposed to send you to like really messed up places. Because on the video I saw on YouTube, I think he said I want to see something spooky, and it sent him out in the woods. But of course, the video doesn't say how far into the woods it was. And there was an old abandoned car that like the tires were gone. I mean, it was like a early 60s era car. And he's recording there, and you can hear a kid laugh. So he ran away. Well, he went back a few days later, and there was all these new toys, like kids' toys, laying around the car. And then you could hear a little kid say, "You want to play?" And then he ran away again.
That's a good student film project that he put together there.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's I don't know, it's a pretty cool app. If you got an afternoon and don't mind using the gas, it's just something to play around with.
Well, right now I'm getting 3 months to the gallon.
Yeah. But
So,
I would suggest to go with a friend, not go alone, because you don't know where you're going to end up. So that way your friend can die with you. And then you'll be ghost buddies forever.
bro, why did you go to the alleyway, bro?
I told you it was just glue from a sign. It wasn't Aztec bullshit.
It wasn't huffing glue.
Oh, well, so with that, gentlemen, I think we way past our hour. But hey, we haven't done this in God knows how long, and nobody died.
Can I read off the things that I came up with for Doc to think about when he used the app next?
Yeah. Yep. So that way, Doc, we'll have it recorded, so Doc will have it.
What?
Number 1.
Show me something unexpected. Show me something psychedelic. Show me something boring. Show me something monkeys like.
If I do something boring, it'll just have me go to my bedroom.
And that's the quality content that you pay nothing for. And finally, show me something ancient.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So I wrote those thinking you had to actually put a prompt in. But I think if you really focus on stuff that monkeys like, I think it'd be interesting to see where you end up. Is it just the banana aisle of Whole Foods? I don't know.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll do the show me something ancient one next. And if it takes me to an old folks home, I'll give you $1.
$1 recorded, witnessed.
But it's going to be a paper bill because there's, a chain shortage apparently in the country, and I
didn't know that.
A what?
Apparently there's a coin shortage.
Yeah. I was in a store today, and they actually had a sign up. But yeah, I heard about it yesterday. Apparently, the country is running short of change.
I think because everybody's holding on to their change. I know
I'll
I do.
say.
Maybe because it's time for a change.
Yep.
And so on that lovely, horrible note, I'm Tony Fuentes.
I'm Doc Walling.
And I'm Johnny LeBron.
This has been the Science of Drinking Zoom edition, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. It's like real life, but not. Cheers.